you're very welcome one more time to the Friends and Family Show. Tonight we're coming to you live at ChannelOne TV here at our studios at number 5 Ola Hanson Lane in Tesano. My name is Noyo Kworte, and you know on this show we get really excited. We bring you lots and lots of conversations that you can relate to. We're getting all the emotions out. We get to laugh, we get to cry like always, and we get to share exactly how we feel. You can be part of the show by sending us a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-4470-33. You can be part of it. Let me know what you think. And this evening, we're discussing something that is very interesting, and I know that you would want to be a part of it. Send me what you feel, how you feel, what you think when we put the question out. But we're discussing responsibilities and moving out of your parents' house. I know that at some point in your life you've thought about it. Either something triggers you or you just want to get the hell out. But we're going to discuss all about this. Is it okay? Is it not? And there's an audio from a viewer that we will be listening to, and then we'll talk all about it. One more time, you're welcome to the Friends and Family Show. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show live on ChannelOne TV. So before I went for the break, I was talking about a message we got from a viewer. We'll take a listen to it, and then we'll discuss it. I'd want for you to be a part of it. So you can send me a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. Don't forget to add your name. Well, my name is Noyo Kworte. You're still on the Friends and Family Show. Tonight, I have 3 wonderful guests in the studio. On to my right, there's Margaret Fabia Boahenen. And then someone who's not too new to the studio, Michael Anotin-Krang. How you, darling? How you doing?
I'm good.
Right, and then Vanessa Arthur Salping as well, who's not new to our studios. Right. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
so,
you.
all right, we'll take a listen to this message first, and then we'll get into our conversation.
I am 29. I work full-time. I pay the bills in the house, including electricity and water, and I even help out with groceries and my siblings' school stuff. Even though I handle responsibilities, my parents still treat me like I'm a teenager. I can't go out without explaining where I'm going to, who I'm with, and what time I'll be back, because they have to lock the house at 10 p.m. If I stay out past 9 p.m., they start calling me non-stop. I've tried to bring up the idea of moving out, but they act like I said I want to join a cult. I know the rent issues out there, but I just can't keep on living here anymore. It's like no matter how grown I am, I'll always be 16 in their eyes. I love them, I really do, but I'm suffocating.
All right, but I'm suffocating. I think I like that part. That is the only way you get to tell how bad or how much you really want to get something, like get response, or you want to get results, or you want to get something done about the situation. So you heard her. She's suffocating. And she wants to leave her house. The house that she actually participate, right, or contribute is the right word.
Yeah.
I don't think that's, that's the right word, contribute, because she's paying the bills, and then she feels that because she's paying the bills, you can't ask me where I'm going, what time I'm coming back, I am not a child, I'm an adult. You think it's right? Or you think that African parents are doing too much? They're doing too much, and they don't see you for you, or they don't see an adult or a child being independent. Let me say, not a child, their child being independent.
Yeah, I think it's an African thing. But we've come far, so I'm expecting that there shouldn't be any issue. Okay. It all has to be the communication that parents are not having with their kids. No matter how old you are, your parents will see you as the little one they have always nurtured. it's so.
Why is that?
It's so. I had complained about my mom years back, but today, I see my husband pinching me every time, like, take it easy, take it easy.
It looks like you're going to that
yeah,
direction.
yeah. You want to be like your mom, but I know I was complaining then. The problem has to be with her thinking that because she's contributing, paying the bills, she's old enough. Fine, you can be 50 years, but since your parents are alive and they still see you as a baby that you are, I think she has to discuss it with the parents, sit them down, talk to them. I know it's difficult.
With African parents.
Yes. Oh, I know it's difficult, but then they'll come around. They'll come around.
Okay.
They'll come around. Yeah.
Michael?
Well, I think with this issue, it's more of how our parents were actually brought up.
Yeah.
All right, so it's an African thing, as I would say, unlike the Western world where a child is likely to move out of the home, and even being at home, your parents even want you out. You understand? Because we have the bigger house, kind of, but they have the small homes and all that.
Yeah, so you have to get out.
You have to get out to go. Exactly.
Okay.
But unlike our African parents, I mean, when you see them, say, we need you to come stay in the house.
Right.
So I think, in my case, for instance, when I was moving out of my house, it was quite a problem. So I had to marry, stay with my wife in my father's compound, and I think it didn't help. So it's not the best.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Vanessa?
Well, I think with her issue, it has to do more of the whole concept of infantilization in the African system, where you think you are old, but you are not old. There's a saying my mom normally goes like, when you are mature. So you think you are 40, I may be 60. The more you grow, the more I'm also growing. Yes, and you know, you can't really do that. Oh, I'm paying the bills. The fact that you're paying the bills doesn't mean you are lord over the house.
Okay.
It's just a shared responsibility. So I'm thinking there's two ways we can look at it, for and against.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So it brings me to this question. They actually don't see you as an adult. They still see you as their child. Is it fear? Is it love? Or they are just controlling?
I think it's love. All right, so I would say it's love and it's fear.
Okay.
All right, so the love as in you have a child, all right? And for instance, moving out of your father's house, your father might be like, oh, I want to know, you're going to rent a house and all that. Why not stay with me? They believe they can provide for you, they can help you and all that. But with the mothers especially, it is fear. How is my child going to fend?
Right.
Which lady is going to come into my child's life? How is the girl going to really treat my son? Is my son able to even wash his own clothing? They're cooking. So when it comes to the women, the mothers, it is fear. But for the fathers, it is love. As a result of rent issues,
Okay.
I mean, I am a typical example. Moving out, I think my father had a problem with me going to rent a house. So like, we had an apartment. So when a person moves out, then you move in there. Going to rent a house or channeling out to rent, so it's that kind of love a father will have for you. But my mother had a problem with, into what who's going to cook for you? Are you going to be able to wash your own clothes? Because I was doing none of these in my mother's house. So that becomes, so it's more like love and fear. I mean, to me, yeah.
I think same. For the mother side, I'll speak towards the mother side, where you feel, oh, my child is doesn't really have the emotional tenacity for the world. Okay, how would they treat my child? Oh, would she be okay? Would he be okay? So it's inclined towards the fear. The fathers, as I agree with Michael, is more of the economical factor. Men say ska. Paying bills and rent at the same time
Because
differs
he
from paying.
understands.
Exactly. It's different from paying only bills and then reserving the rent money for something else. So yeah, it has more love, more fear.
Or you think it's a tradition?
Tradition in addition to the two.
Okay.
So we are looking at it from the angle that now we have walls. Before we were living with aunties, uncles.
Right.
It was a bigger family.
Extended family.
Yes. I live now with my husband and kids. And I'm afraid sometimes, for my boys especially, for the girl I'm okay, but for the boys, I'm thinking of what if another woman come into their life, take control, and when I call my son, I will not have access.
It's jealousy.
And it's not jealousy. It's not jealousy. And what will happen? Yes, what will happen if the woman takes over and I call him and he's like,
it's
oh
jealousy,
my. So currently, I'm praying that my husband has a lot of money, build like an apartment, tall one, and I keep them in there with their wives and children, so I can protect them. I really want to retire early from corporate and then take care of my grandchildren.
But you can still take care of their grandchildren whilst they're living their life somewhere else.
No, they're too far away from me.
That's
so
where I was lucky.
I was lucky. I was living next to my mom, and my they have to come in to support me.
But not your mother-in-law, right?
No, my mother-in-law, I'm okay. She also was in. And I'm fine.
So I think her is more like a tradition for them.
Yes.
Okay.
My problem is I've always told my kids that I didn't give my mother-in-law any problem. Don't let your wife come in here to give me trouble.
So it's a tradition carried on.
Yeah. They don't have to come in here and push me out. I'm not pushing anybody out. We all live together as one big family, and we are okay.
More like shared love.
I like this mentality though.
Because it depends on who you meet, who your son or daughter meets. You can't tell.
No, they should. Why should they come in with their rules and not obeying my rules?
No, but it gets to a point where they have to go.
They will go. I'm not asking anybody to be in here, but we have to. The family, you can't break the family chain. What do you mean by you have to go? Where are you going to? Did I leave my mom?
But you left your mom's house, right?
Yes.
So he wants to also leave your house.
So I didn't even tell my mom I was finally leaving. You know, when I got to the university, I said, this woman, if I go, even on vacation, I'm not coming back. So I would just give an excuse that, oh, I'm a student leader. We need to be on campus, that kind of thing. Because I cannot just pack my things and leave. Finally, when I got married, then she's like, Mommy, we need to move down with them. They're high. So when you are going, you don't come back again.
So your mother sacked you?
Yeah, so your mother had to go.
So it's because she didn't have a bigger house. My husband would have come and we live in
But I think she's finding an excuse for her mom.
So I understand where you're coming from, but then I think it won't work.
Yeah.
It's not the best. I mean, to me.
Okay, right now, let's not say that it won't work. That's her wish.
Yeah, okay, fine, that's
Or you're wishing that's how it will
work.
Play out. Or not men found.
So you want me to feel that I'm in denial.
Exactly. Because how old are the boys?
So the boy, I have 15 and I have 9.
So you see, they'll get to a point where their thinking is different.
So they
unless, of course,
different mentality.
You're insisting that they live with you.
I'm not saying they should live with me.
They shouldn't live far from you.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's all I'm asking.
But they can move out of your house.
But that's okay.
And then live on the next street.
I'm afraid
so that when you wake up in the morning, you can just go there.
See them.
I'm afraid for the 15 years. That boy can see.
Sister guy, forget Embassy. Okay, you're all right, so we're looking at this. Is your financial contribution supposed to give you some kind of freedom? The fact that you're paying the bills at home, is that supposed to give you some kind of freedom? Like,
you can go.
Because you're paying utility bills, so and when your mom talk, you talk.
No.
When your dad, I'm supposed to do what I want to do because No.
But I think to some extent you gain a little bit of, it's still financial freedom. You don't gain that access to disrespect the family. Money doesn't have anything to do with respect. I mean, in the family, in our traditional family context, you are helping pay the bills. Yeah, but they paid your fees. It's not a give and take, but then it's just like an investment. You're just yielding your returns. That's it. But it doesn't mean you can lord over the family. You can't do that. That's a no. It's a flat no for me.
So I think you pay. I think it doesn't give you that freedom though, because contributing to bills, contributing to maybe let's say the rent, utility and all that doesn't mean that you are an overlord of the house. You understand? before you were you, there was a mother and a
There
father.
was someone.
You understand? So I believe that it's just a matter of having that mutual respect, communicating responsibly with your parents.
That's it.
So, but some people overdo it.
Yeah.
And I'm you still expect to you Japan to her and all that.
Yeah.
So ideally, to me, staying in the house, then you have to calm yourself down, respect them, and still living out, even though you are paying the rent. Until you move
But
out.
I think that even if you're paying the rents and everything, and they should be able to give you a little bit of room, but it is up to you not to overstep your boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Well, you're paying the bills. That's all right. You're a grown person. Probably in your time, you have a little bit of get together with your friends. I think that the whole thing, we shouldn't just rule out the fact that you're still living with your parents. You can also tell them, Mom and Dad, I'm going out to this place. The party is going to take long, or it's going to take to this hour. I'm going to be out here till this and that. You don't just step out of the house and come back whatever time you want because you are paying the rent. That's disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that we should talk about it. You ask for permission, it's not permission.
It's permission.
Permission, I mean,
Without
it's
asking
in a
permission.
subtle way. It's,
In a subtle
yeah.
Even if you're not
permission.
using the word permission, you should need to tell somebody that I am going here for this reason.
for safety.
For safety.
Yes.
And I'm coming back at this time. Because I don't see why your mom should be the one to call you. Amma, about 10 now, At least tell her I'm running late.
Yes.
There's a meeting that's holding me down. Or I went for a party. I thought it would stay till 6, but it looks like we're staying till 9. That's why there's communication. You can send
Yeah,
a text,
exactly.
or you can make a phone call.
Yeah.
But you can't entirely, ghost people
Because-
and then show up at whatever time because that's
It's
disrespectful.
it's wrong.
I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
That's entirely
You-
disrespectful.
because not to catch you, but then I'm thinking that you think you live with them, you are paying the bills. What if you live elsewhere? You still have to pay the bills in the house.
Anyway.
And the truth is, when you move out of the house, whether you're a man or a woman, you still have a spouse. So whatever you are doing in here, it's only preparing you for that level.
It's more
Because
like an
you can't just go
accountability.
out when you're living with a man, or you are a wife or a husband, and say, I'm taking care of you.
You're not accountable. Yeah.
No.
Comes with
Once you're
accountability.
living with someone, as you're saying, there are boundaries. I think it's a communication issue. It boils down to communication. Because with me, my mom, I grew out from a booking home, a single parent. My mom is a real traditional African woman.
Okay.
There is no excuse you give to my mom. I remember when I was even in the university, and my husband was my boyfriend then. It wasn't easy to just take him on and introduce him. No, my mom, you don't even have that. So he comes around. He knows. He see my mom. He know my mom. My mom doesn't know him. We dated for almost 10 years. My mom never saw him with his eyes, but he's always around. So the fact that you live there, you pay the bills, does not give you the right to say I'm just stepping out. It's just for security. Security. And when you marry, you don't know the kind of person you're also going to marry, how the person was brought up. So if you don't know these things and you don't prepare yourself for it, that's when you get in there and you feel like choking there too, and you want to even come out of that marriage because already you have lived that freedom life, and you think that somebody is it is life. Even with your kids, sometimes when you are going out, you let them know that, Mommy, Nana, I'm going here, Ekwe, I'm here, so that you don't know what will happen. Yesterday, people were out there before the rain started. So if somebody could come to your rescue and you didn't tell them where you are, how would anyone save you? So don't let us look at it from the control point of view, but then from the love and also security.
Sometimes our parents, they overdo.
Yeah, because they are seeing you as a little, they know, protecting
so that's going
you.
to bring me to my next question.
Yeah.
Can you be grown? You feel grown. I'm grown. In your father's or your mother's house.
How do you do
with
that?
Your parents?
I think so. You can be 19 years, but you started working early.
Yeah.
Maybe 17, 18, paying the bills, paying some of the rent. When they go to market, you give something. Yes, you feel it. Life responsibilities gives you some form of growth. you feel, oh, okay, now I can do this, I can do that, I can do. So I think it, to some extent, it does make you feel that you are grown.
And do you think that parents get excited when they see that you're acting grown?
Not, it depends.
They do.
It depends. They get proud at the fact that my child has been able to do something for him or herself as at that age. However, when it's becoming to rub on you in maybe, oh, okay, that's where the friction comes in.
I also think sometimes mothers like it when their sons are, you know, like taking the role of
Yeah, they do.
Yes. By some decision making, they think they have a say.
Yeah.
You can't really tell your mother, just like Auntie is saying here, there should be a bit of accountability. In as much as I may be proud of my child, my son or daughter, for doing this, taking responsibility, it doesn't mean I should lose that accountability from him or her.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. Michael?
I know. Okay.
Go on.
Okay. I think that it all has to be from that particular person. So you treat people based on how they behave
Or
and how
grown they are.
responsible they are. There are some people, they are very young, but they can reason very well.
Like they're mature. Okay.
Matured, yes. So such people, there's some level of freedom. And you would have to adjust yourself as a parent to meet them halfway. There's who are very old.
But it's not that easy as a parent to make that adjustment.
No, it depends. So the 9-year boy I'm talking about gets up from bed, and I always tell my husband, if this was my firstborn, I'm sure I would have gone like 6. Because he gets up and in an hour and a half, he's ready. He's ready. Whereas the older ones, I can tell you even up to today, the 23-year girl I have in my house, oh God. Okay, have you done this? Are you too with this? So such people, when they are moving even out of your house, you are still afraid. You are thinking
you're
that
not mature.
I always tell her, you're going to give someone's son a big problem. They will think, yes, because if you are stressing me this way, and that boy was also trained up to be, or it's like your brother Kofi, who knows how to do everything, and you get into your room and you start flying things all over.
But you know, some people are just late bloomers. A daughter or a son may behave in a particular way at home, but the person leaves the house and start to pick up. Yes, we have late bloomers and early bloomers where 15 years or 9 years, he's catching up, like wake up early, helping mommy, helping daddy. So it varies. So as you are saying, you have to treat each of them the way you deem fit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, let's talk about this. Boundaries, right? Are boundaries respected under a shared roof?
No.
No?
Yeah. In the sense that, you see, let's take it from an aspect where the gentleman is married, all right? Can we go that way?
Okay.
All right, so you have a mother who has brought you up from birth, all right? And you have a child as well. I mean, your family settled is the same compound, you have a child. Your wife wants to train your child in a way, but your mother feels that I can do better. So it becomes more of a competition. And I always have that mentality that 2 men cannot share one kitchen. It's impossible. Because there's always, I know how to do, I want to do this for the child. You also want to do this for your own child. Ideally, she gave birth to the child. She can do better. But your mother will try to cross the boundary because my fellow say, Menana, I can also try and do something. So I think the boundary issue will be very difficult to get. There is no boundary. You can't have a boundary.
Really?
I think there is.
All right, even let's just
extent.
calm down. Let's drop it a little from being married.
Okay.
You're still in uni, probably. Let me just go that tangent. You're still in uni, but you're working alongside. So you're the one that's like, you know, paying the electricity, the water, you give money for groceries and all of that. And then you have visitors. Or you want to do something in a particular way and say, I want to do this. So like, you know, I'm drawing the line. You, at 6 p.m., you can't enter my room. But we're under the same roof. First of all, you said I didn't even see. Do you understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
there are boundaries.
So yeah, I think that there
To
are
some
boundaries,
extent.
but then are they respected?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it depends on you, I don't want to use a child, let's say the individual at home. The way you do your things can earn you that respect, or that respect can be taken from you.
Yes.
You can be paying the bills, but you do your things shabbily.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you're expecting your mom to be,
You're not
okay,
organized.
hey, please go feed
Right.
it. You're not organized, no.
Yeah.
So yes, there are boundaries, but it's solely dependent on you, the individual or the child in question.
Hey, also the parents. There are some parents that you are doing everything, they can't do kokoko.
Oh.
I mean, I'm tell you,
No.
hey,
Yeah,
you said
you know,
it.
it gets to a point where, like, you know, they're in your face, they're in your business.
No.
They're because
Right.
they're,
Yeah,
you're
right.
the one that's paying the bills.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
it's there.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're under my roof.
Especially when
So
you
they
share
still
it.
haven't taken it
Grasp
all in
that.
you know, now I need to give her some space. Or you get
Especially when you share a common, living area with your parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're all covered on Sabbath now, because
bet now.
they want to really listen to your
Yes.
My
conversation.
dad hold my home.
So what I'm saying is that a bad things when
What
you are
happened to
boundaries.
the
No?
bush?
As for the boundaries, I think to me, I still believe that it has to be with communication. So the local African, I remember when I gave birth to my first boy, my mom was sick and she has to come in live with us. There are days that the boys want to watch cartoons and she also wants to watch something else. But I have to let her understand that these ones are kids. If we really want to have our peace, they need
Let
to
them
have
have
some.
theirs. Exactly.
So I think everything has to do with communication. She didn't understand because she feel like na me penyin am person me share and I want to watch something on the TV and you want your kid to have their way. But then you let her understand that if we really want to live in this house peacefully, this is how we have to. We have to sacrifice for them to watch their cartoons. So we plan getting them laptops so that they can sometimes be there so that we can also have our peace to watch. So it all has to be with communication. These are your parents. Yes.
Okay. So then we're still on talking about responsibilities and moving out of your parents' home. On the note of having communications or the boundaries, I'm just throwing this question to you. Do you think that boundaries are being respected in our homes, especially in the home where you're sharing with your parents, but you're an adult and you're paying all the bills? You're still on the Friends and Family show. It's getting heated. When I'm back, I bring more questions and then we will still discuss this. My name is Noyo Kwote. Let's take this breather. I'll be right back. All right, we're back on the Friends and Family show, and we're still talking about responsibilities and moving out of your parents' home. We had the text or the message from a viewer, and she's suffocating because she's paying the bills, but she's still being treated like a child in her parents' home. Now, before we went on the break, we're talking about boundaries. Are they respected enough? Well, on that break, we had a little chit-chat here in the studio. And I think that we have a little chance of your boundaries being respected as a child living with your parents. Because, for example, why would you actually ask your mom to give you some time off, probably from work, you're tired, you can't walk into my room at 6 p.m. and all of that? I don't think that she's going to agree. That's all, you're back from work. She wants to have chit-chat with you. Then you say, oh, I'm back from work. I need some me time. Me time. You know, I need all of that. I need to, suck it all in. Me time. Give me some space. Not my mother. She won't agree. You want what again? Hello, excuse me? In my house?
I won't.
You two won't agree.
No. It depends.
No,
You have to let me know why.
I'm asking politely. I have gone to work. I am stressed. I am tired. I need a little time to, take it all in and probably take a shower, relax, and then I come out for dinner or something.
I think,
it's
sweetheart,
something little I'm asking.
Sweetheart, sometimes me talking to you for even 10 minutes will even give you more relief than what you are seeking for.
I know.
How about the other times?
No, not every time, but
I know what I want.
Anyway, sometimes you can have it, but not all times with me.
It's solely dependent.
Yeah.
If it's not an emergency, I think
Yeah.
your parents should understand.
Yeah.
sometimes you're going through work
agree
stress, like
every
your
time.
boss is worrying you when you
Because
are
in
at
that-
home and
discuss it.
no, but
I
at,
want
at
a
the
little
Sometimes you just need a me time, just something, just to be by yourself, reflect,
Yes,
just have a
because the
reflection.
person may just flare up. Oh man,
that's what I'm coming
ma,
to.
you
And
know.
then you will say, hey,
What do you matter?
Where do you matter? You've disrespected
we
me.
know you.
Hey, I
The
don't
one
want your
that's
bills,
having that
and
voice,
you know.
I've done.
I'm still screwing myself up well to believe what
You
you
know,
are saying. Anyway,
you walk into my room.
sometimes you need
yeah.
space.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
I am tired.
Just some
because
few
of
minutes,
that.
an hour.
Me try me home. Like, you know, I'm trying to put things and say, hey, now my time you get me was I say, give me a little time.
I'm not sure because I'm not sure it's because you are thinking that that person is too nosy or she's just coming to just disturb you.
Too nosy, is she not my mother? I know her, she's nosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know, mothers will feel worried and concerned, but at the same time, the same mothers should know their child. Okay, I think Ikuya needs some time. Let me leave her. But if you force and impose it on her, she'll
Anyway,
oh, mommy,
so.
or she would probably just lie about it. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, so we have a couple of messages. Let's check them out real quick. This one here says, paying bills isn't enough to be spared any control. Until she's married or as long as she's still under her parents' roof, she has no say. This is from Kafui.
That's
well,
too hard.
we have that moral factor. My mom always tells me, oh, Oba, excuse my language, Oba dear, what's all mommy fear? A man will choose a woman staying with the parents to a lady staying on her own. There is this mentality. Optics may be right this time because, oh, it means 6 p.m. she'll be asked to come home. There's a curfew at 10, but someone who lives alone, Charlie, 10 p.m. I'm at corner. So they have this perception. If you want a home girl, you go for someone at home. So your parents will be like, no, Tenefie, you know, be home. That thing is there for females. I'm talking about females. It's geared towards females. That thing is there for females. That moral, especially this African context.
That.
Yeah.
Because it got to a point where I always had a banter with my mom. You know, what the two what's in my fan to what? When you pass here, she say, hi, what is it? When you do this, she says, what? You get. So that frustration is, okay, then let me move into my own space so I can get, you know, my peace of mind and all of that.
It's not
but
happening.
my dad would always say one thing. It is best for you to be married out of your father's house.
Right.
It gives you respect.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you
that
know,
is the
he's-
notion.
Yeah, he's always on that. You
Yeah.
contain it. I mean, you contain it till the
we
time.
are Africans.
Contain it. That can not happen in this one.
So, you know, I was saying when I got to the uni, I didn't want to come home because my mom, even on a Sunday, she was a trader, and even on a Sunday, I don't even understand her when it comes to that. We are selling the market from Monday to Saturday. Sunday, that woman will not go to the market, but she gets up very early in the morning. Hey, me woman boss, me woman to ma. Hey, she be pushing you on your bed. Hey, ma, then you get up and look at and give it to her. Obi and that's how. You can't be sleeping like that as a woman. So the first time I went to the university and on a Saturday morning when I didn't have lectures and I was like, it's 4 o'clock and I was just rolling on my bed. I said,
Like I go for our day.
my dear, I just feel that, hey, it's like, oh, that is why those girls went to school and they never wanted to come back.
Freedom.
Yeah, I have a similar
yes,
experience.
I think, yes.
Because my
That's
mom,
freedom.
6 a.m., no, she doesn't understand why she's standing at the kitchen. No, you are in there doing what? What are you doing in the room?
Yes.
But the university, I'm sleeping till like 10 a.m. So I always, Charlie. Saturday, we are going to do palm nut soup, light soup, granite soup. Like, I always had that fear. Was it a good feeling at that time? Well, I felt it was, but growing up, I realized no, she was helping me.
My mom has done a good job because now you can go all out and you're not tired.
Right.
Because you're trained well. My mom would say a woman cannot be sick, and if you're a mother, you can't be sick. So I remember when I was doing my MPhil, there was this time that I was so ill, and my colleagues were like, oh, Maggie, you need to sleep. I said, no, my mom said a woman cannot be sick. So I got up, dressed up, and went for lectures. And my colleague, no, Maggie, I said, no, I'm fine.
Right.
I'll be okay. And that is what has kept me, even in the office. I don't get tired.
So you still don't force it, right?
I'm sick.
definitely break down.
The issue is I'm sick, but then why should a mother sleep? That is her definition. So because you have kids and you have mouth to feed, you cannot say you are ill, so you are sleeping. So you have to go and then keep going, and it helps us.
Right. So at this point, and at what point should the check-ins and then the curfew stop? At what point, so that you're living with your parents, that I'm checking in on you, I'm checking in with you, and then Kojo, about 9, what else you then want to? Me to me get more. I used to get that a lot. I will lock my gate. Remember that? I will lock my gates and nobody will open you. But then there's always that friction. When it happens, my dad always had that soft spot, when my mother is on the he'll quietly text you and say, Charlie, there's fire on the mountain, So if you're going to stay a little late, let me know, or probably I'll stay up and wait for you. Shout outs to my dad, man. But he's 6 feet down. He'd always send you a little text that Charlie, give you some hints, there's fire on the mountain or something. Come back early. He's always the last person to sleep, so because of that, he's looking over the walls, expecting that a car will come that you're in. Yeah, he will be the last person. He'll wait for you. But the blasting there, you go collect. The blasting's there. But I still feel that no matter what age, you still check it. That is my problem. I think I'm still going to do that with my children. You still have to check it, no matter what age, I'm checking in, I am here, I will be here till late, Or mom and dad's got curfew, you're still living with your parents, you're supposed to be back by 10. Daddy, I know I'm supposed to be back by 10, but this party is taking a bit, longer. So let's say I'll be back by 11, is that fine? If he says yes, you stay.
That's more
if it's not,
communication.
I know it hurts, but you need to be back.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm
I
looking
think
at it from, sorry.
No, don't worry.
I'm looking at it from a place of trust. If you have a history of always getting into trouble, you go out, come the next day, there's a policeman chasing you, there's this, there's that. We will never stop the curfew.
Yeah.
We will always check in.
Don't follow the rules.
Because then you would always be a child. That's where the infantilization comes in. We will always treat you as a child because you are not acting like an adult. You are not getting that tenacity to control your own life. You would always be a child. So it comes with trust. If maybe my history is I always come back home early, if I have to go somewhere, just as you're saying, you communicate it. Really, I'm not sure. There will be curfew, there will be check-ins, but it's limited. As compared to someone who is always falling into trouble, going to do this, going to do that.
Sometimes it depends on the places you're going as well. You can't tell. Probably I'm going to see my boyfriend. But at least you're going to say something in that regard.
Yeah.
I'm going to see my boyfriend. I can't say it. But I'm going to say, there's a late lecture or something. So they know that you're out there.
It all has to be that you have to be a responsible child, because curfews, no curfews, whatever it is, this is life, right? This is life. If you don't plan your life, you cannot live that life. So you are thinking that it's a curfew, but it's not a curfew. It is only to help you plan your life.
Not curfew be.
No, it's not curfew. So let's take it, just as she's saying, we are looking at you being able to stand up for yourself, not giving us trouble. Your parents have planned their life, they have lived well. So your actions shouldn't affect them in their old age. You are thinking that you are on your own when you have problems, right? Your parents cannot sleep. I remember I had a cousin who went clubbing at Caprice those days and they got into trouble. We have to get up at dawn and be running. Who wants that for their children? And maybe the next morning I'll be going to work or I have something doing, and your recklessness will keep me awake.
But the term to keep me in.
What I'm saying is, my dear.
But I think, I think with the whole curfew thing, I think there has to be a limit to it. All right, let's say the child has started uni. All right, there are times when people won't even learn together in groups. All right, so that curfew thing has to leave. Maybe you say I can come to the house like say 10 p.m., 11 p.m. It could be negotiable. I mean, it's negotiable. Yeah. Depending on where I'm going to, depending on what I'm going to do and all that. But when it comes to check-ins, I think even at this age, my parents still check in on me, which is fine. Yesterday during the rains, I think I was called like several times. Are you safe?
My mom called.
Why are you? So are you everything okay? My phone went off. They had to call my wife. So with the check-ins, it's fine. But when it comes to curfews. I think so, according to university at some point when the child gets to university, there has to be that break.
I think I agree with you. If you say that the curfews would have to be, if it has to be adjusted, that's fine. But you can't outrightly, scrap it.
Exactly.
It's going to be as a tool of safety.
Yes.
Right? So I'm going to give you that deadline because, mind you, you're not living on your own.
Yeah.
The curfew is in because you're living with me.
But you
know
know
it's
that.
even
But
for
you
the
know
whole
that.
family.
You know that.
Let's lock the gate at 8.
Curfews help us.
So it's a general
going out.
thing.
Yeah.
Do you know why? So sometimes if we spend too much time outside without any rules, when you start working, you even forget that the next morning you have to go to work. And it even affects your productivity at work. But if in your life you have been under some condition, it helps you plan it. You say, hey, no, I think I have to sleep. I need to catch some nap. Because you'll be clubbing all night, you'll be partying all night, forgetting that the next morning you even go to work.
But the thing is, not entirely.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's not an everyday clubbing thing. There are days that you don't have anywhere to go. There are weekends that you don't have anywhere to go. But when it comes to a time where, there's a party in school, or my friend is having a party, or we decided, my few friends, I guess 3 girls or something, we decided to hang out somewhere. You check in with your parents, all right?
Yes.
That this is where I'm going to go. They say, okay, since it's a party, I bet that's where you were coming to. This is a party. If it is 9, we're shifting it to 11. You should be home by 11.
Oh,
that
12.
curfew is still there. But you can't scrap it off.
Exactly.
What if you live in a
entirely.
neighborhood that is not safe?
So in that
We've
case,
not discussed that.
So
that's
what I'm
a different
saying,
issue.
It's
That's
for
a
the
different
family.
issue.
It's
It's
a
for the
case
family
by
where maybe
case
you
thing.
leave,
You understand?
Okay.
Leave somewhere where we have rampant cases of armed robbery and killings and other things. It's a standard rule in the house. You grew up to meet that, maybe 8 p.m. If you know you're not going to make it, that's where communication comes in.
Okay.
It's for everyone, not necessarily just you. That's a different case altogether.
Okay. If the neighborhood is safe.
growing up, I lived in a gated community where the main gate itself is being closed, not your house gate.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mine, main security go feel look you say, not be here today, madam. You know the
You're not part of us. You're not
Call your
part of
father. But
So that's I'm going to call your father that
call your
time.
father that time.
You see, that's when you need them.
Responding to
Exactly.
Call your father. They're standing there and say, oh, Musa, you know. There's a curfew and double curfew.
Yeah, okay.
The main gate is locked. So that's what daddy's saying. The main gate is closed at 10. Be home by 9. Sometimes you are the farthest part of the estate. You think that you have entered. There are people who are mentally, already in the estate.
Yes.
You get it? People are getting bugged. People are getting robbed.
Yeah.
Although they've
Your
gone through
own
the main
safety.
security check.
I mean,
You get. So my dad's policy was, if you're going to stay out past 10,
Let me know.
you're either staying with your cousin or a trusted friend. And that person I know, that person I've spoken to, not the person that's you say,
Yeah.
no, he's spoken to your friend's parents. They
Okay.
know you're sleeping over.
Yes.
In the morning, he's driving to pick you up.
Yeah.
So it's not now that
can't
you're
go
coming
and
live.
Yeah.
So you go to somewhere and say, Kasa, madam.
So how are you doing it?
I remember.
No, so it put me in
girl's
line.
friend. Yes.
I tell you no lie, it put me in line.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not coming back. I call you. One person that I'm going to stay with. My cousin used to live on the other side of the estate. So, okay, now I'm there. He had a free bone too because his parents were out of town and all of that. But he was older. So, they agree that you stay there. But sometimes too, I go to see my boyfriend. I'm not coming to sleep. I say, can you please call that date? I'm here, but I'm not here. They
those
can't
days.
wait.
But sometimes I think I did the same thing when my parents would have to call my cousin's landline to
Yeah.
know if you're all in the house.
Yeah, mobile phone.
Wow.
It's always now we pija handset na to na ping.
It means that the line is engaged.
Yeah.
Oh, not
But you must
children.
be lucky.
I remember.
I never had that.
And my
You are not going
my
anywhere. You
girl's
won't.
friend was at our place and it was getting late, and I told her, no, if you are sleeping over, then I need to talk to your mom. She's like, oh, mommy, it's okay. My mom is fine. When I said no. So I don't want my girl to even hear what you are saying because, okay, so it means that when I travel, she comes over and your mom won't, no, I have to talk to your mom. So I called the mom and I'm like, oh, okay, I am a case mother, your daughter is here, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, mommy, why?
No, but I think with a curfew there, it has to be have some because
it should be
my
adjusted.
cook manager. My parents told me point blank, about 11 I'm if you to get him. I slept in the car throughout the night.
Next time you come before.
Yeah, you come early.
We've got messages, and this one here says, "Hello, Na. This okay, I'm Efwa from Ho. Living with your parents at age 29 is really stressful. I remember working and was not paying bills because both parents are well to do, but still they respect my boundaries when it comes to restrictions." Okay, good for you.
Good for you.
Hello, Na. This story is my life. I am 32. I have a whole job and a side hustle, but I still get the "why are you coming home late" speech every weekend. And again, African parents will be like, "You are the landlord of the bills, but I'm the landlord of the rules." It doesn't get easy. This is Ayeyi in Chantan. And then we have some more. One time I came home at 10:15 p.m. and my mom asked if I joined the gang. Now that's hilarious. Yeah, because why are you coming home now?
Yeah.
I'm a Kia from Asokwa. I moved out last year and it actually improved my relationship with my parents. We respect each other more now.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Moving out to works.
But the finances of moving out and then staying to take all the, curfew, which would you prefer?
I prefer to move out.
The harsh one, like you're paying bills. You know, when you're with your parents, at least they pay a little. You're not paying for the rent.
Yeah, of course. And even
that's your
you're not paying entire bills.
You're entitled to.
But I believe working out is the best. I mean, staying out there is the best. You don't necessarily have to go have a very expensive apartment.
But you have the means.
I mean, if you are working, all right, and you can afford.
I want to understand. Oh, yeah, are you saying that are you saying that once you move out, you're not doing anything at your mom's house? Is that what you are saying? Yes.
Like you're not paying bills.
Yes.
Oh,
Is
yes.
she okay? If she's okay, that's
yes. Yes.
No, then to me, there's nothing wrong, because
there's
if you are
there's moving out.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, because whatever it is, you will still do there and come and do here. So is she saying that the 29? Yes, that is where I'm coming to, because it's just not moving out, and that's what I'm saying, that the fact that you are paying the bills doesn't make you the madam or the boss of the house, because these are parents that even if you are living out, you still support them. So everything you are doing in here is only because you are a child. Whether you are out or in, you will still do it.
Okay.
Do you get it? So paying the bills and having liberty and all that doesn't come in. What I'm saying is it has to be communication.
Right.
Mom, I'm thinking that ABC, before you know the things that you are thinking that is choking you or suffocating or whatever, I think that will help you tomorrow.
Okay, now just to add to what Manti is saying. So I think if you are, let's say, responsible for your parents' bills and all that, ideally, I think you should stay home until, let's say, you have a very solid job.
Yeah.
Which can actually...
Going and campaigning.
Because being
you're a man who is married to 2 women.
No.
Yeah,
you will pay your bills and coming to pay it
Right.
here.
Exactly.
Right, but that's when you're married. But let's say you are single. Everything or all things being equal, you're paying your bills, you're paying your parents' bills and other things. But the condition at home, there are conditions in the family. Your family may differ from another family, where I may be paying the bills, but due to a condition, I don't have my peace of mind. So I have to move out. If I can afford to still pay your bill and my bill.
Choose moving out.
Yeah.
Really?
That is if you can pay the two.
Yes.
No, but it's not even, it's not an obligation. I really feel it's not an obligation for a child to do it, but you do it out of to take care of the bills. It is not an obligation.
No, it depends on the home you're coming from. Listen.
Exactly.
There are some homes, for instance, even where I live now, it's a gift from my father. You understand? So there are instances where
you don't have to. I don't pay.
I know of somebody whose parents are living in a chamber home, or not the chamber home. He's suffering to even pay the parents' bill because they are not working.
So someone like
it depends on the kind of home you're coming from.
Exactly. It's solely dependent on the condition of the house, the emotional and the psychological, activities that goes on in the family.
I think that I'll share the story. Parents don't actually see you as grown.
No.
No matter what age you're in, you're abofra. You get it. So this is me at work. I've moved a little just to buy wachi on the next street. My mom comes into the neighborhood where I work, like in Adabraka a lot. Good. Then she sees me on the next lane. She's driving around. She sees me on the next lane. Then she parks as if something has happened. So initially, I thought somebody was going to kidnap me. But she just parks and she goes like, "Nah, then what? You get? So like you're wondering. So for some minutes, why is Then I said, "Oh, I'm at work. Your office here."
Yes.
That
So
checks.
you know. So her mind
It's
if you go to work,
you have to be at
be
the
at
work.
work. What are you doing outside?
Yes.
So I explained, I came to buy watch. Hey, Oda, you get she's asking you as though you still live with her. But this is me.
It never ends.
I can see your
never
mom
ends.
in me.
You get
It never ends.
I said this story over and over. I don't live with you. So she just the way she even packed. I said,
She's
put the window down.
thinking that your employer could say that when you come to work, you don't stay at work.
Who said
and
that?
it will be her problem. So
You know, always thinking for the child.
Like, I'm like, So far, I said,
Charlie, Ghana had it. As
No,
far as you're a child, you always be a
it's a
child.
norm
And
here.
I was like, so for 2 days, honestly, for 2 days I didn't talk to her because what if I was working with someone? You embarrass me with that?
no. She just wants to.
I'm
She just wants to
thinking-
be sure you are fine. That's
No,
all.
but you just asked me, nah.
I think the
you know,
tonation, how the approach, how
But
she
you know
went
what?
about it.
And
She
then
has been
first-
speaking to her like that every time.
No.
Don't
I know,
make issue
correct.
out of
This
it.
one is
It's
no,
fine.
it's
no
a problem.
For 2
There's
days,
no problem.
fearful. For 2 days.
But
it's a
I think our
problem.
African parents
Because in
naturally
public,
like
I
that.
think
Yes.
that you
Yes.
manage
my
the
children-
situation.
but come on.
I remember my
No, but
children
manage the
my
situation
mom
in
telling
public.
me that, my Jano no nye free me, so onye free o mi free. Your house is for me. Why would you be free in my house?
Nah, so a typical example, I was doing some alteration works in my house. My years some renovations. He comes to the house and tells me, "I'm going to say, Mom, going to say." When I have instructed what to be done.
Hey, so,
That's where the boundaries get crossed.
No,
He's now
I
doing
am
it
into
to the
construction.
technical.
You are
No,
not. But then he still
he's
wants to be like,
an adult.
I said,
What an
never-
adult can
Parents know
see
better.
sitting.
That's always the notion.
Yes,
We
what
always
an
know
adult
better.
can see sitting, a child cannot see standing. So
No.
you don't know, and he is trying to
that
help.
one is
No, it
the
doesn't
family
work.
house.
It doesn't
So we
work.
all met on
It
no
doesn't
man's
work.
land.
Yes.
That's why we
Yes.
say that, no man's land.
Wherever you are, that she finds you. If anything happens to you, she'll be the first person to be
Who said that?
affected.
But why do you always look at the
Because-
negative? We are always,
No,
there's always
because
this
at the end of the month, she's not getting her remittance.
Eh,
She's alive. You have to take care of her. So you are, in fact, you are her responsibility, and you
She
are her
can't- She can't ask
property.
me that.
There's this funny story. There's this funny
You
story.
can ask me nicely.
I will
Say,
support
oh,
her to ask
did
you
you come to get food or be nice, man. Be nice.
No.
She wasn't
angry.
No.
I come to catch me.
So we're always looking at the negative, like that proclivity towards
You can't- you
negativity.
can't
Like,
ask me.
But she said, you know, you can't be
no.
careless because her remittance will not come. Anyway, that's
Yes,
true.
yes.
Now, there's a typical example. There was a lady who was
Let's
owing.
hold on to the remittance. Okay. Let's hold on to it. But all I'm saying is, don't catch me in town Rambo style again. Don't stop me Rambo style.
And what did she say?
You know what? For 2 days.
She said for 2 days we're having
you know they
issues.
understand.
So crowd, they can catch you today.
She walk in here. She walk
I'm
in
not
here.
describing the thing well. Like, hello.
You will always be her child.
Oh, please. Shout out to
Mommy's
you.
girl. Mommy's girl.
All right. Thank you so much. We've had a really, really nice conversation about responsibilities and then moving out of your parents' house. Well, if you're in that situation, I will say, if you're a lady, if it's not time for you to move out, you should hold on. So I think there's so much joy in still staying in your parents' house and then being supported until you can fully be on yourself or by yourself. So if it's not time, at least you can hold on tight and spend that rent, save that rent money. You think I have rent money, but save it, you can top it up. It could be no more rent. It could be you buying your own house, okay? So thank you very much for joining. It has been the Friends and Family Show. And thank you so much for sending all your messages as well. And thank you, my lovely guests, for coming through. My name is Noyo Kwote, and enjoy yourself.